June 1969 at New York City. The summer was at its peak, and even the night does not seem to be very pleasant. On 28th of June, in a little village called Greenwich near New York City, there was this shady little joint called the Stonewall Inn. The Stonewall Inn, which is run by mafia, was a safe haven. At least that's what all the patrons thought, for those whose sexual preference is not commonly accepted. They are the gays, the lesbians, the transgenders, the queer community, etc. And by about 1:30 at midnight, early morning, 9 police officers from the New York City Police Department raided them. It was just another routine raid for the New York police, where they go raid, arrest a few patrons, find them and let them go. But that day, the 28th of June, was not just any other day. That's a day when Marsha, a black lesbian transgender activist, and Sylvia, another South American activist who is also a lesbian, stood up. They asked the patrons not to cow down, and for the first time they fought with the police in what is called the Stonewall riots. Hello friends, this is Captain Muthukrishnan and welcome to the Captain's Comments. This is a program where I share opinion on almost anything under the sun, but with heart, history and hard facts. Let's go back to June 28, 1969. America, for all its modern trapping, still has a very conservative DNA. Homosexuality was banned in all but just one state, the Illinois. And other than Illinois, in any other state, if you are an openly homosexual or even queer or transgender, you could be arrested, you could be fined. And this little community, they just lumped it because they could not, or probably did not have the courage or the guts to fight it. June 28, 1969 changed it all. From June 28 to July 3rd, for 5 full days, they were fighting a battle against the New York City to establish what is the first ever LGBT movement in the history. Friends, today is the 2nd of June, the Pride month. 1970, 1 year after the Stonewall incident, the same group came again and they celebrated. They celebrated that fight, and that is how they called it a pride. A moment of pride, a moment which shows that they are no more ashamed of their sexual orientation, but they are proud of it because this is nothing different from what a heterosexual person's sexual preferences are. Friends, let's look at the history. History across civilizations are filled with great heroes whose sexual preferences may not be the same as that of yours. And history was more forgiving than the modern society. They accepted them. Zeus, for example, had liking of someone with their own gender. India, in Mahabharata, you have Shikandi, who changed his gender, and we all accepted them. Friends, let's talk about LGBT and let's talk about the controversy that's surrounding LGBTQA++, etc. in India. Is that something that's spoiling the society? Or is it something that we should not bother? Just like the American army says, don't say, don't ask. I think the sexual preference of a person is his own. Just like a heterosexual person walking down the street is not looking at every other time the opposite gender with lewd passion in his heart. So the same is that for the homosexual too. Why do you have to see them through a different lens? Why do you have to give a label? So if you ask me today, I think the entire labeling of LGBTQA is completely unwarranted. Why do you even have to give a label for something which is none of anybody's business? So today if somebody is asking me, are you in for LGBTQA rights or not? I said, why do you even have to do a label? Is there someone who's going to fight for heterosexual rights? When nobody is fighting for a heterosexual rights, why should people talk about homosexual rights? Now they say that these are stereotyped part of the community, but why do you have to stereotype? If homosexuality is stereotyped, are we not stereotyping heterosexuality also? And therefore, in this month of Pride, in this Pride month, I think we should stop labeling people for their sexual orientation, because it does not matter what it is for you and me, as long as you don't have any other intention with that person. With that, thank you very much for joining in today's Captain's Comment. I look forward to meeting you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.